Hello, hello. Okay, over here in the Backdrop Plug Club app, can you hear me? Give me a one in the chat if you can hear me, please. Over here in the app, can you hear me? Francisca, Judith, can you hear me? Give me a one in the chat if you can hear me. Okay. Give me a two in the chat if you can see the getting started soon screen. All right, so you can see my screen. Awesome. All right, it is 6:01 now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I try to be as punctual as possible. Start the recording. All right, so hello everybody. I was able to work out the kinks this week. Last week I was not able to live stream to my socials or YouTube. So we're back and it's working. So B Marquita here, aka the Backdrop Plug. And I teach event planners, crafters, creatives, enthusiasts, anybody in the party space or business space how to create custom backdrops and banners and or start backdrop design businesses. And every Tuesday, um, tentatively anyway, every Tuesday, I do tutorial Tuesdays where we walk through the design process of creating custom backdrops. And at the end, members of the Backdrop Success Circle get to ask me questions for people who have 4-week access through the Backdrop Blueprint. So on the screen now, if you are not a member of the Backdrop Blueprint, which is just the designing and the printing of the backdrops, you can go to backdropblueprint.com. Now, if you want to go to the full-blown business side where you're going to learn how to set up your Shopify stores and your Etsy shops, run ads to them, do your marketing, your email, set up your payment processes and all that kind of stuff, that's in the Backdrop Success Circle. So getting to the money, like on the advanced tip is the Backdrop Success Circle. So backdropsuccesscircle.com. Otherwise, if you just want to learn for now how to design and print, Backdrop Blueprint. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hey Vanessa, let me share my screen. And we're going to go to GIMP, which is our design software that we use. And I hope everybody's doing okay. If anybody was affected by the hurricane, because I've been seeing that it's been doing damage. I'm way in the Midwest, southeast corner of Missouri, and it's been raining here nonstop. So I just pray everybody's okay. And I'm waiting on GIMP to open right now. I should already have it open. So I made a post on my personal Facebook page asking if people were going back to school in their town, like the kids were going back to school in their towns. And I didn't realize school was coming that fast. I'm like, that's like some of them the end of the month, some of them at the beginning of August, and then some like the 8th of August. I was like, yeah, that's coming real fast. So I wanted to do like a back to school type design. Did my GIMP open? There we go. Come on, computer, there we go. So if you follow any trainings that I teach, You will use a program called GIMP, and once you get your screen set up to look like this one, you'll be able to follow along. So I highly recommend you following along or setting up so that you can follow along the way that my screen is. So you can find that set up in any of my courses, or if you just want the setup of the program, you can get the Backdrop Starter Kit for those of you who are not in any of my programs yet. So backdropstarterkit.com, and that'll take you to how to set up your GIMP screen. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go to File, Open, because I want to open one of my templates. But if you do not have a template, which some of you do not, you would just go to New and then create a template that's 6,000 by 6,000 pixels. So I'm going to go to File, New, just so you can see. It'll get this pop-up screen where it says image size. You're going to enter 6,000 for the width and 6,000 for the height. And you want to make sure that it's in pixels or px. Then click on OK. And then it's going to tell you creating a large file. You're going to say yes, and then continue on. But I'm going to open up my template that has my watermark and my logo already on it. So I'm just going to go to File, Open. Go to my thumb drive where all my stuff is. Back plug my templates. And I have a square template. And it is 6,000 by 6,000 pixels. And you'll see my watermark faintly in the background, as well as my logo here in the bottom right corner. So I'm going to go ahead and save this file as something else so that I don't override this template by going to File, Save As, because we're creating a new file, not saving this one. So I'm going to name it Back to School Backdrop. And I'm going to save it to, I'm going to save it to my desktop for now. Then click on Save. And at the top right or left corner, if I know my directions, here is the name that I just created. So I put Backdrop to School. Lord have mercy. You can tell I talk about backdrops all the time. I'm gonna do Save As Back to School Backdrop, not Backdrop to School Backdrop. That's funny. And I'll just delete the other one later. Okay, so this is your layers window over here on the right. And on the left, these are the tools in your toolbox. And the screen just below the tools is your tool options. So it changes depending on what tool is activated. But if I go over here back to my layers window, I'm going to turn off my watermark by hitting the eyeball next to that layer. So you can see here, I named this my watermark. I'm just turn it off so it's not in my way when I'm designing. So I had this design in mind. It's kind of like a chalkboard, with like a chalky font over it. So I'm gonna see if I can recreate it, and let's see how that goes. So I'm not gonna create the chalkboard that I have in mind manually because I don't have enough time for that. So I'm gonna see if I can find one on one of my favorite resources, PNG Tree. So I'm gonna go to my internet browser. Hey Gwendolyn. And then go to pngtree.com. I'm signed in, I am. And then I'm just gonna type in back to school and see what happens. And not backdrop to school like I did a second ago. Back to school. Uh, I'll just leave it at that and see what pops. And as you can see, they have plenty of graphics. So some of them actually have the words on it. I don't want the actual words, so I'm going to create my own words. I'm just trying to see. Oh, that little bus is cute. See, I'm going for something like this with the what are they called? Protractors? I just drew a blank. And the rulers and all that kind of stuff in the background. But I may be able to find a background I already like that, kind of like this one, where there's like doodles in the background. So I'm just scrolling through right now, seeing what's gonna work. I kind of want these pencils as well. And as you can see, you can get a whole lot of ideas just by scrolling through. Okay, let me grab these color pencils. And then we'll grab that back to neon sign. I'm gonna grab this one. And then I am going to go back to the top and see what they have for background. So where it says PNG images, I'm going to click on that for the drop down menu and then go to backgrounds. All right, let's see what we got here. So we got some empty chalkboards. We got some that are erased on. We got a chalkboard with the pencils already on it. Okay. Wonder if I can find a green one. That's a cute backdrop. I mean, backdrop. Lord, why do I keep saying backdrop? You can tell I live and breathe backdrop. Because every time I have a chance to say it, I'm going to say it, even though that's not what I mean to say. Let's see. Can I find a green one? Or I might have to do it the manual way if I don't see one. Oh, there's a green one. Okay, let's go with that. So I'm gonna download each of these. Download PNG. Download now. I need to confirm my identity one of these days. I'm gonna grab this one too, just in case I need it. Download now. And the color pencil. Download and download. And then I'm just gonna close out all of these tabs so I don't jam up my RAM. Then we're gonna go back to GIMP and we're gonna add these images to GIMP by going to File. Since we want to keep working on this same file, we're gonna do Open as Layers. Again, Open as Layers. And then we're gonna go to our Downloads folder. And I'll move them to my graphics folder later. I'm just keep it here for you. I'm gonna select the first one in the list, hold down Shift, and select the bottom one in the list and click on Open. And it's gonna open all three of them at the same time. So here is the green background. I'll probably end up using that one. Let me turn it off so I can see the other ones though. And sometimes you get a little wonky, little JPG or PNG file. And that was supposed to be the white, transparent, like stuff on the chalkboard, but clearly that's just all white. So that would have been a waste of a download. But luckily, I have the membership where I can download an unlimited amount. Because if you don't have a membership with this particular website, I think it's still 2 downloads per day. So I'm gonna just delete that one, click on it, make sure it's highlighted, hit the red X in the bottom right corner of our layers window, get rid of that. And then we're left with our color pencils. All right, so let me turn this layer back, turn this layer back on. I'm gonna select it. And then as you can see, this is not the size that we need it to be. We need it to fit the whole screen. So I'm gonna use my scale tool. Remember here, here's our toolbox with all our tool options. Scale tool is a small square pointing down to the right to a larger square. Click on that. And then I'm just gonna click on the layer that I want to scale. And it's the active layer. So you can drag the corners, the edges, or you can type in a number, or you can use up and down arrows. But just make sure that this chain is linked so that it scales proportionately. And because I know that my canvas size is 6,000 by 6,000, I want my smaller dimension to be 6,000. I'm gonna just type it in, stretching it, save time. Once you hit enter or tab or whatever, it'll automatically change the other dimension. And then you're gonna click on scale. Okay, so you see it's grown, but we need to move it. And I'm actually gonna use my alignment tool instead of the move tool. So the alignment tool looks like a bar graph. Click on that. Make sure that the layer you want is selected. Click on that layer, and then you'll get a square in each of the corners of that layer. If I zoom out, you can see them all. So I just hit the minus key to zoom out. So now you can see those squares in each of the 4 corners. That's how you know it's selected. Then you can change how you want it to be positioned or where you want it to be aligned to by going to the tool options for this tool. You can align it to the left, the center, to the right. And then because this is the dimension that's going to fit perfectly, no matter what we do, if we move it up to the middle or down, it's going to snap into place. So let's say I'm going to choose center and middle. I'm going to zoom in by holding down shift and the plus key. Zoom back in. So here is the background that we're going to use. Now I want the color pencils to be like a border. And as you can see, they're below this chalkboard layer. So we're going to drag it up in our layers window. And now we can see the color pencils. So we need to scale it again because as you can see, it's small. So same thing, scale tool. Click on it. This is an actual square in size. You can see same dimensions. 7,000 for one of them. Hit enter. And my zoom stuff keeps moving away. There we go. Scale. And it's going to scale that as well. Hey, Latanya, welcome. So it took out some of the pencil. We'll fill that in just a second. Same thing, alignment tool, like we did with the chalkboard layer. Center. And if you want it to be high up, you can see how much of the pencil it is. I don't want that much of my screen showing. So I'm actually use my move tool, which looks like a crossbar, to drag it back down because I don't want the color to take over the whole alignment tool, make sure it's centered perfectly. And then right here, I'm going to fill in where PNG Tree didn't give me the full pencil. So I'm going to just pick one of these shades of like this peach or tan color and fill in these empty spots where the shading is missing for whatever reason. So to do that, excuse me. So to do that, first we're going to go to our bucket fill tool, which looks like a paint bucket with paint spilling. I think that's kind of universal across all design software. So bucket fill tool. At the very bottom between our actual toolbox and our tool options, you'll see these two squares with colors in them. Those are our active foreground colors and our active background colors. So to use the bucket fill tool, because the fill type is foreground color, we need to change our foreground color to the color we want it to be. So I'm going to click on that first square for the active foreground. I want to choose one of these peachy colors. So I'm going to use my eyedropper tool. So in this box that popped up for the foreground color, if you look for HTML notation, go all the way across. This little box here is how we select our eyedropper tool. And that's going to be able to select any color on the screen. So let's say I want this color. You see how it popped up? You want to use it, click on OK. And then we're just going to click in these empty spots. Okay. So this is a little more advanced. You see, if you look closely, you'll see where there's like a line around where we filled it in. We're going to use our smudge tool. I don't think I've taught this on a live before. If we use the smudge tool, it looks like a finger getting ready to smear something. Change the brush stroke to one of these softer circles. And then you can just drag. If you need to change the size, you can do that. You can just drag and smear it out. I probably needed to use a smaller size, but I'm not worry about it. So I'm just clicking and dragging it. So you see how it's smearing it out? So that's a pretty cool tool. That it is harsh line that it's giving us around where we filled it in. I need to use my mouse. Touchpad is being weird. No, y'all. There we go. Like my fingers didn't want to cooperate. So I'm literally just clicking and dragging it out. I don't even know if you'd be able to notice it as much on the actual print. But if you have been with me for a while, you know that I'm a little OCD. I like to be a perfectionist of sort. Where's the other one? If you mess up, just undo. Control Z or Command Z if you're on a Mac. and just smear it. And if you think the smear is too obvious, you can smear other parts of the pencils as well and just kind of smear it all out so it's more uniform. And I'm just trying to drag some of the other colors in here so that that green in the background isn't showing. And if you wanted to, you could have just started smearing instead of doing a bucket fill. It's kind of up to you. All right, let's say this is good. Zoom out. So now you don't see those harsh lines. Let's, oop, there we go. Let's save it because I haven't saved yet. So just save our work. And then I'm going to crop this layer because you see we have extra space between the actual border. You can see the border with the yellow dotted line and the actual graphic itself. That's just OCD in me again. So I'm going to go to the layer tab in our menu and then go to crop the content and it'll crop it down. All right. So let me know in the chat if that makes sense so far. Give me a 3 in the chat if that makes sense. So we just added graphics so far, scaled them, and then I did a little extra training just then with the smudge and the bucket fill. But give me a 3 in the chat if that made sense. All right, I see a 3. So I believe I have a font that's like a chalky font. So I'm going to go to my text tool, which is the black bolded capital A. It's toward the bottom of your tool box. Then the tool options for that tool, you can click on this square box to the left of the font and to the bottom of the word text. And you can see all the fonts that are on your actual device. And I cannot for the life of me remember what that font was called. And I'm trying to scroll fast and pay attention. It could be on my other laptop also. Hmm. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can Google it and find a font that I have in mind. So I'm gonna go to the Google tab. I'm gonna put chalky font and then I'm gonna put the font up. Because that's what I like to use for my fonts. So let's see what they give us. Not quite what I'm going for in my head. Go back. Chalky chicken. What in the world? That's kind of one. So I'm gonna download it over here on the right. I'm gonna go back and look in because there is a thicker one. Maybe it wasn't chalking when I looked it up or when I downloaded it. Um, Maybe it's like a good. Hmm, I might use that one. Okay, let's do a doodle. That's a little too doodly, if that's the word. Uh, I guess I'll go do these and see what they are too. Happy Doodle. And TF is not even letters. Okay, that's closer. Zuka, that's not letters either. So I might use one of the ones that I just downloaded. Let's see. I'm gonna go through these and then I'll just choose something. That's good to have. I have to remember that one. I'll go back and watch my own replay so I can remember to get that one. Oh, that's off of. Okay. So I'm gonna go in and grab one of the ones we just downloaded. So you have to go to your downloads folder, and I'm gonna show you how to. Y'all getting a lot of the advanced training today. Show you how to install them so that you can use them in GIMP. So here are the three that I downloaded. So here is the chalkboard. Choose one of these, either open type or true type. Both of them will work just fine, but just make sure it's one of those two. Click on install. You see that it's installing. Close out. Go back. I'm gonna do the other one, chalk stick. Here's open type. It's taking a little minute. And I'm gonna grab the other one. Super noodle. I'm gonna do the regular one, not the italic. This is probably gonna be the one I use, honestly. Install. And then once it's installed, just close out. So to make sure that it pulls through on your GIMP, you have to first save. So save your work. And then you actually have to close out again because you need to do a reboot. So close out, open it again. All righty. So now we're gonna go to File, Open, Recent. And I still didn't name this correctly. I don't know what's going on with my naming today. It's back D. Ooh, it's all right. I'm struggling spelling today and seeing backdrop 27 times. Okay, so text tool is about to create a text layer. Let's make sure we're at the top because we want our text layer to be in the forefront. Let's change our active foreground color to white. So chalky color. And then with our text tool selected, you'll see the two options. Click on that. See the different fonts that are on your computer. We'll go down to the Z's because here is the Zuka Doodle that is now ready to be used. Right now, my size is at 2000 for some reason. I don't need it that big. I'm glad I looked because it would have frozen my computer while I was on Zoom. So I'm going to change that to just 200 and see how it goes. We can change the size later. Click in your canvas and just start typing. So I'm going to put back. Still can't spell today. See, it's small. So I'm going to highlight it all, increase the size with the up and down arrows. Okay. Use my move tool to move it around. Oh yeah, so it's starting to come together what I had in my mind. And I'm gonna actually do different layers for the two in school. Well, let's say I want it to be the same size as this back. So I'm just gonna click on this layer and duplicate it. So in our layers window, go down to the very bottom, click on create duplicate. It's the fifth icon. And you can see here's the duplicated layer. It says back number 1. Move it down. Use your text tool and let's go in here and click inside of this layer and change this to school. So just delete and backspace accordingly. And then I kind of want to fill these in with colors. We'll see. I'm gonna make another one that says 2. And I just accidentally moved the background. Just did it again, undo. I need to lock this in place. So to lock your background layer into place, click on that layer right at the top of the window, right above all of the layers. You'll see where it says lock. And then there's the paintbrush, there's the cursor, and then there's like um, a transparency box. Click on that cursor that says lock, position, and size. So now I won't keep accidentally moving in the background. And I'm gonna finish this, the word 2. Alrighty. So we have our text layers. So I'm gonna move them around. I actually want to shrink the word 2. So I'm gonna use my text tool, highlight it all, use my down arrow. Okay, that looks good. Use my move tool to move this. And then I'm gonna align all of these layers to the center. Because I know I'm off just a little bit. That 2 was way off. So back to school. Um, so I kind of want to add color to this. So I'll show y'all how to do that. Ooh, time's going by fast. It's already 6:40. Wow. Um, do I want pencils at the top and the bottom? I think I do. So real quick before I change the colors of these text layers, I'm going to duplicate my color pencils and put them at the top as well. So click on that layer for the pencils, duplicate that one. I showed you how to duplicate earlier, but just the fifth icon in our layers window. And then we need to move it up and flip it. So to flip, we're going to use our flip tool, which looks like arrows pointing away from each other, kind of like a mirror. Click on that. And we want to flip vertically. So in our tool options, we need to make sure that vertical is selected and then click on it. So there's the mirror image, but I also want to flip it horizontally. So I'm changing to horizontal and flip it again. So just click, and then you can use your move tool to move it up, however far you want it to be. Move this one. There we go. I like that. Alignment tool to center everything. And then I'm going to move these layers down. Yeah, there we go. I like that a lot better. So I'm literally just moving this stuff around. Now always align, just in case I get off. And typically I do. I did good with school. All right, I haven't saved in a while. Let me go to File, Save, so we don't lose our work. And then I'm going to show you how to fill these in. So let's see how it looks actually. So I'm going to do the back layer first, the layer that says back, and I'm going to move that up. Just a little OCD so it reads correctly. So let's grab this pink. Remember how to do it? Select the layer, select the bucket fill tool, change the foreground color. I'm going to select the color off the screen. So I'm using the eyedropper tool again. I'm going to grab this color, click on OK. Then let's see how it looks. I'm going to do the same thing for the next layer. Let's say I want it to be alternating colors. Let me grab an orange, click to fill it in. I think I'm going to like it. Let's see. I'm keep on going. Selecting all of these colors from our color pencils. No, I'm not going to do a green because we already have mostly green background. Let's click the eyedropper tool again. Let's do a blue. And we're doing the same thing over and over. Let's select the word to in our layers window. Let's change the color. What's the next color? Purple. Another orange, another blue. Let's do a red-ish. And grab a yellow. Let's do the same thing for school. As you can see here, the layers that are text layers, once we start modifying them without using the text tool, it'll change to a regular layer instead of a text layer. Just want to point that out. So if you have to go through and make any changes, you'll have to go through all of this again. So make sure that your spelling is correct before you start doing bucket fills and stuff like that. But it's not necessary to do this for each type of font. It's just that this font has an open face on it. It has a transparent face on it. Let me actually see what this looks like. A different color outside of white. So you can also do a different shading color too, if you wanted to do it that way. Just another option. Do that though, but I want mine to be white. So let's see what color I want the S to be. Go back to my bucket fill tool. Um, let's do the S in the yellow. So I'm gonna leave it yellow. The C, let's make that a purple. H, since these are already selected using my eyedropper tool, I don't have to go through and use it again if I'm going to use the same color. Let's use the blue. The O, let's do the orange. The other O, let's do pink. And the L, let's do the red. Let's see that. Okay, I like it. So let's say, and because this already has like shadowy, um, what am I trying to say? Like a shadow-esque background on the text layers. I'm not going to add any outlines or shadowing drop or long shadows to this because it already has a long shadow on it. But I am going to try to find some more graphics just to add in here to fill in some more space. Let's see if we can find like an Apple or a notepad or something like that. But the design is actually, I like the design so far. So I'm gonna go back to the PNG tree. Let's see if we can find an apple. Do PNG images. I don't need a full background. And I don't need the most realistic looking apple either because our design is more flat colors instead of the realistic color. So, oh, that apple is cute. I actually want it. Let me grab this one. Crazy Apple 3D. Let me see if I can get it. Download PNG. Get it download. Let's do, oh, there we go. Download. Let's see if we can find like a globe, something school-like. Fail today, Lord. Globe. Hmm, like this one for our design. And what else? Let's do a notepad. Ooh, a background with notebook paper for the background would have been, or a backdrop with notebook paper as the background would be. Might do that on my own time to record a video and add it to the template crew. Okay, even what I need to give. Okay, let's do, what else I say? Calculator. Let's grab this one. Download. Come on. There we go. And then I'm gonna close out of these. And let's go back again. Remember, I gotta open this layers. Go to our downloads folder. Let's grab these downloads by holding down shift and clicking them all. And then they are behind our text layers. So I'm gonna move them around so I can see them. Let's scale them. I don't want it to be that big. Crop it, layer, crop the content, save some space. Let's see if we want to keep the little apple guy. Click on the next layer. If I move it, that's the calculator. So let's layer crop that content, scale it down. We can rotate it using the rotate tool, which is really close to the scale tool. It's like two rectangles, one going at an angle with two curved arrows. So you can just click and drag it however you want to drag it, however you want your rotation to be. Use your move tool. You can move it below different layers. Is our glove? Yeah, I probably want to use the apple. It's so cute. I'm gonna turn it off. Layer, crop the content, my globe. Let's rotate the globe a little bit. And move that one below our tools as well. There we go. Not that we would really need it in the design. I kind of like it without the calculator anyway. So the globe, it should can stay. But I just, for this design, I wouldn't use all of the graphics that I just downloaded. Or I can leave the apple. So I would leave not under that red though. So if I were to keep the apple, I would move it and flip these because I don't want a whole bunch of the reds to be together. And I see that some purples are together too. So let's flip these. Let's take this one, flip it horizontally. And select this one and flip it as well. There we go. Yeah, I don't like a lot of the same colors to be contrasting. Yeah, so if I want to keep the apple, I would do that. Move my watermark to the very top. If I was sending this to a customer, make sure I turn the visibility back on. So then my watermark will be on the design. Move my logo to the top as well, because I like to put my logo on my designs. There it is. And this would be the file that I would send once I export it as a JPG or use my snipping tool, which I talk about in the course. That would be what I would send to my customer. And it is 6:55, so we're right on time. My Zoom peeps. Anybody have any questions? Latanya, Vanessa, Gwendolyn? Let me know if you have any questions. And you can put it in the chat or you can unmute. if you want to just talk your question.
Hey, this is Vanessa. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Ugh, I've been so stressed out trying to. Okay, when I got the backdrop part when I was starting a new one. Every time I put the photo in, it's really extremely small and it will not let me enlarge it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I keep looking at the videos over and over.
Is it selected as the layer when you're scaling?
Yeah, I even did scale.
Are you on your computer right now?
Well, I'm watching you. I can't go into the
Okay. Because I was gonna
yeah.
have you share your screen if you could. So that I can see. Because I won't be able to direct you. I can just give you pointers, like talk you through it again. But if I don't see
Right.
your screen, I don't know exactly what your issue is. But
And I don't even think my screen looks like when downloaded it, it's got the little tools up there, but the other parts, I don't have all of that. I don't know whether to go back and uninstall, install it back.
you need to go through the steps again for the preferences setup. So you
Okay.
need to go to, so you don't have the tool options, correct?
I have some of them, but I don't have all the stuff like you have.
No, and by tool options, I mean this very bottom half that
Right,
pops up when you select different tools. Do you have that?
right. But on the other side, where on
No,
your,
no, no. Let's answer this question first. Do you have this side? Like this
y-
spot right here where I'm circling?
yes,
Okay, you don't have the right side.
right.
Okay, so for the right side, you need to go to Windows on your menu bar.
Okay, window. I'm writing it down.
Okay, and then you need to go to Dockable Dialogues, and you need
Mm-hmm.
to select Layers,
Okay.
and then do it again, and then select Document History. I mean,
Document.
you don't have to do document history. I just use it because it's quick to go to, like when you're designing a lot. If you click on it, hold on, let me move
Mm-hmm.
my stuff so I can see. If you click on it, you can see all of the different stuff you were working on recently right here instead of having to go to File, Open Recent, or File.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Okay.
why you got to do that. But
Okay.
once you do the Windows dockable dialogues, it'll pop up on the screen, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can drag the tabs together so that they're on the right side of the screen. Now, if they are floating menus, that means like you can move these tabs or these
Mm-hmm.
panes.
Mm-hmm.
That means you need to go to single window mode. And you can do that by going to Windows as well and to selecting single window mode.
Single man. Okay. Window.
Now, once you get back in the group and you still can't get it, send me a screenshot of what you're seeing, or either like do a quick recording of it. You can record it on your phone and post it to the group. Like you can log into the app as well on your phone, not just
Okay.
or you can use Loom if you're familiar with Loom and record your screen, however you want to do it. If it's still
Okay.
not working, just post either a picture or a video so I can try to help you a little bit more since I can't
Okay.
screen like right now at this time.
Okay. And then one more thing, like when I kept trying to do a new one. So how do I delete the old ones?
The old
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
no, the old what?
Like when I made a template, and how do I delete the old template?
So you made two templates with the watermarks?
Yeah, because I thought because the picture wasn't enlarged, and so I went to another one and I named that one, and it still wasn't large. How do I delete that old template?
You should be able to go to wherever you have it saved. So whatever folder you're using,
Uh-huh.
for your designs or templates or whatever, let's
Mm-hmm.
see. Because if I go to my templates, it'll show all of your GIMP files that you have saved.
Yeah.
Just go in there, select it and delete it. Send it to the trash can.
That's what I
I think I'm
thought
in.
I did, but it wouldn't. But I'm gonna just start back over. I got stressed out so much I just stopped.
Yeah. So do what you're trying to do, but record it too, so I can see exactly where the mishap is, so that I can
Hmm.
better help you.
Okay.
So yeah, just do that, and you can post it because you can post videos too in that question answer section of the membership.
Okay. All
Good
right.
question. Any more questions?
No, that's it.
All right. Somebody in the app says, how do you get to all of the recordings so I start watching again? Rhonda, if you are a member of the Backdrop Blueprint or the Success Circle, there are replay sections in there where all the recordings are. And I leave the recordings from when I go live up for a week on YouTube as well. So they stay up until the next tutorial. So if you are a member of the Backdrop Blueprint, you can go to, and I'll actually open it real fast. If it'll let me. Okay. So you should be able to, okay, for the Backdrop Blueprint, if you go down to, my mouse is moving so fast, or my computer is moving so slow, one of them. Under groups, Backdrop Blueprint members, B Squad, that's the group for everybody. So if you click on that, how can I minimize this screen? Can I minimize it? There's a replays tab across the top. It says designs and questions, replays. So this is where the replays go if you are a member. And I need to finish adding some more in there. If you are in the Backdrop Success Circle, you're gonna go to this because this is all one group, Backdrop Success Circle, and it's also in this replays tab, Q&A and replays. So that's how you find it, depending on what membership or what course you're in. So the Backdrop Success Circle is monthly recurring, and the Backdrop Blueprint is just the designing and the printing, but you have that forever. It's just a one-time fee, but Success Circle is recurring. So that's how you find it. All right. I don't see any other questions. So I'm gonna hop off of here. Hope you all enjoy the training, and I will see you on the next one.